Gene Hackman's death was more than tragic. Those who knew too much about him orchestrated a brutal takedown. The FBI's list of most suspicious people is more surprising than expected. Family, friends, and close associates who duped Hackman, who cast him into endless darkness. What's ahead? The globe will quiver at the one truth. Chapter 1. Hollywood tragedy or something more. Cold morning in New Mexico. Under a dreary sky, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's log cottage was quiet. No one could have predicted a silent tragedy inside. The officers weren't expecting such a weird scene when they got the call. Hackman, a Hollywood legend, died. As did Betsy Arakawa. What really transpired in that house? People were shocked when Hackman's name surfaced in the papers. Hackman had practically gone from Hollywood for 2 decades, living peacefully in New Mexico with his beloved wife. He and Betsy spent calm days in nature, without cameras, interviews, or public activities. Now they were gone. Shaken Hollywood. Former colleagues Robert Duvall, Dustin Hoffman, and Clint Eastwood mourned. Despite the condolences, discomfort persisted. Really? What happened? According to initial accounts, Hackman died of heart illness. His final week was reportedly bewildered by Alzheimer's. He was found too late. His wife, Betsy Arakawa, died of hantavirus, a rare rodent-borne disease. 2 deaths within days. This tragedy may be upsetting, but reasonable for many. But the police disagreed. The case is open. Some abnormalities remain. First, irregularity. How bad was Hackman's Alzheimer's? Hackman rarely appeared in public in his final years, causing many to fear he had severe Alzheimer's. Friends and neighbors said otherwise. Hackman was lucid, they said. He drove himself to the store, chatted with friends, and wrote book notes. Why did the report state he was disoriented all week before dying? Why didn't Hackman call for aid if he didn't have severe dementia? Second oddity, hantavirus. The US has very few hantavirus cases. It is spread by rodent feces or urine, but hantavirus deaths in the previous decade have been rare. Interestingly, Betsy Arakawa wasn't easily affected. She avoided high-risk jobs. They had a clean dwelling without mice or other vermin. From where did hantavirus originate? Why did it appear while Hackman was in trouble? Really? A coincidence? Third, irregularity. No emergency call. Hackman and Betsy's last week's calls were verified by police. There were no 911 calls or attempts to get help. That's absurd. Could Betsy call for help if Hackman was so disoriented he couldn't save himself? Shouldn't Hackman have recognized Betsy's terrible illness? But they remained mute. No one requested aid. Nobody begged neighbors for help. Why? What did cops say? The cause has been announced, but detectives have not closed the investigation. An anonymous cop told the reporters loopholes exist. There are gaps. Disparities exist. Police will investigate until they uncover a reasonable answer. What happened in Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's home? Will Hollywood accept this as a natural tragedy, or is some other truth hidden? Chapter 2. The Silent House, a week of mysteries. For years, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa lived happily at the house in New Mexico's bleak environment. In the last week of February, the silence became unnerving. February 18 saw Betsy's death. After that, Hackman was alone for 7 days. Nobody saw him call for aid, text, or call. What really transpired in that house? A 95-year-old man survives a week in quiet. Even a Hollywood icon, powerful man, and successful profession, age catches up to everyone. After his wife died, Hackman was disoriented by Alzheimer's, according to medical records. However, the police became more skeptical. How could Hackman have survived a week without help if he was so ignorant of his surroundings due to Alzheimer's? No one saw him leave home. We heard nothing. None discovered signs of excessive food or drink consumption. Could a 95-year-old man manage alone for 7 days while disoriented? No emergencies. Why did Hackman not seek help? Hackman's silence seems odd in this scenario. He didn't call police. He didn't ask neighbors for help. He ignored relatives and friends. Landline phones were still there. Hackman kept his phone on his desk for 7 days, but no calls were made. Not an instantaneous accident. Had time to react. Why did Hackman do nothing? Uneven survival traces. How did Hackman spend those 7 days? Police checked Hackman's kitchen and fridge. The past week saw no food preparation. They checked the sink, bathroom. There were no signs of excessive water use. The doors were still locked within. How did Hackman spend those 7 days? Was he alive all week or died earlier without anyone knowing? Gene Hackman had a pacemaker which monitors heart rate and alerts doctors to issues. Betsy died on February 18, the last time Hackman's pacemaker signal was recorded. Signals stop after that. If Hackman lived until February 26, why didn't the pacemaker record additional heart signals? From February 18 to 26, Gene Hackman was gone. None saw him, heard any house sounds, or received any texts or calls from him. He seems to vanish after February 18. Why did it take 8 days to discover him? In the residence, what happened? The cops don't have the answers, but they know the story continues. Chapter 3. The Closet Dog Ominous Sign? An unsolved tragedy loomed over Gene Hackman's large, silent New Mexico estate. Police entered, their footsteps echoing on the chilly wooden flooring. Death left traces, an incomplete story, like a riddle that couldn't be solved. Nobody expected a dog to provide one of the most crucial clues. Police found a problem in Hackman's master bathroom during the residence search. Closed closet door. There were no forced entry or suspicious signals. But when an investigator opened the door, they saw something surprising. In a little cage, Xena the dog was dead. Police were shocked. Xena died from being imprisoned without water or food, not natural causes. But what was stranger? Why was Xena there? Who put it in the closet? Hackman owned 3 dogs. Small dog Xena is closest to Betsy Arakawa. Bear, an imposing dog. Another large breed dog, Nikita. Despite appearing scared, Bear and Nikita survived, but Xena died. Bear and Nikita moaned, avoided eye contact, and appeared uneasy. Both trembled and pressed against the wall as the police approached, as if they had seen something awful. Dogs are instinctive. They don't react randomly. In this residence, what happened? Xena's death wasn't random. Xena had surgery days before Hackman and Betsy were found. Animal enthusiast Betsy Arakawa worried about Xena's health. Xena was imprisoned in a closet cage instead of recovering in a comfortable area. This prompts many queries. A dog who had surgery was locked in a small space. Why? Who placed it? Could Hackman achieve this if he was truly Alzheimer's afflicted? Who did it if not Hackman? This confused the police even more. Hackman was alone in this residence for 7 days after his wife died. No help calls, no messages. If Hackman had lost awareness, owing to Alzheimer's, how could he have functioned normally for 7 days? Xena died while Hackman was living, therefore it was locked in the closet. Was Xena put in the closet by him or someone else? Police hypothesized that someone entered the house during this time, who locked Xena in the closet if Hackman wasn't lucid. Police searched the scene for a third person. Undetected forceful entry. Nobody coming or departing is recorded by security cameras.